Hello and welcome back to my Astro Imaging Journey channel. So as you can see, this is from the title of the video, this is going to be evaluating the first light with the new optical train. That's the Moonlite light crawler, autofocuser and rotator, the ZWO ASI1600MM Pro, and the ZWO 8-position filter wheel. So, and these were all captured last night. As you can see on the right, there was 3 H alpha frames for M51 and several H alpha, H beta, O3, and S2 frames for M81. And just on a quick glance here, we can see some sensor glow. Not sure how prominent that is. This is stretched. So maybe I'll want to bump the gain down a bit, maybe down to 85 or something. I'm not sure, but I'll be taking a look at that. But overall, yeah, I'm looking for. Looks like maybe there's a hot pixel right there in the middle of the galaxy. Maybe a couple down here. But let's step through these and see how each one is. That one looks pretty decent. So does that one. And now we're into M81 H alpha. And that one, I was having issues with the auto guider. It decided to start tracking in the wrong way because I was aborting the sequence and things just got a little off. And I did not recenter when I resumed the sequence. The sequence thought we were already centered, so I forced a recenter after this frame, and there we are. So that's looking pretty decent. And nice plane trail, so we're just going to go ahead and remove that one. Okay, now this one is curious. Why is that so washed out in hydrogen beta? What's the next one? Yeah, they're all washed out. Interesting. Maybe I need to cut that one back on the exposure time. We'll see. Let's look at the times on those. So we were looking at between 3. So let's see, that's 259 to 411, 259, so 03. Let's see what the last 03 looks like. Make sure it wasn't cloud cover. Let's step through the 03. And there's the last 03, and it's not washed out. So I'm willing to bet I need to drop the exposure length on the hydrogen beta. That's 2. No. Oh, meridian flip. Okay. You can see the double star right here in the lower left of the galaxy. upper right on that one, so that was a meridian flip. All right, I only had to get rid of one. I'm not sure if I'm not gonna keep these hydrogen betas. Let me remove those. All right, I'm back. I'm sorry about that. Got a little distracted. So I'm going to select everybody. Let's move them over. I did make a little bit of a change. Before I would come down here to my targets folders, and let's just pick one here. And you can see I have my blink good underneath there. That's on the NAS, that's on the network. So that adds some latency in the next few steps. So instead, here local on the drive, I've got my SGP data. You can see I've got everything in there. So right now, all the images are in this folder here. Now that I'm blinking them, I'm going to put them in the blinked good folder. And that's much quicker. So we can get rid of all those and close blink. And there's everything we have left over. So I'm just going to go ahead and delete those. And now we're going to come over to the subframe selector script. And we're going to just add all those files. And let's set our output. And one of the reasons why is it remembers this output directory, and it was always a pain to go back in, because as you can see with focal reducer M109, and each time I'd go to a target, it was adding extra time to the process to find the directory, as you can see. And I would have to do this for every single set of data for each target. So now it should remember this, and we should be good to go going forward. And then after I get enough, I will then go and move them over to my NAS once we're done here. So let's go ahead and measure. I'm going to keep all of these settings the same. Weighting is SNR weight. Yeah. So let's go ahead and measure. Once this finishes, we'll see what we ended up with. All right, that has completed. So I just want to take a look at the full width half max. And it looks like M81. Looks like that is my best frame. Yeah, that one's probably my best frame, but as long as we're not too far off of 7 point, I think 9. We get into the 10s. There's the 10s. They all looked pretty good. That could just be the variance in as the temperature was changing. Obviously M51, they all seem to be pretty consistent. So I think I'm going to keep all but these two outliers. I think even the 10.5. And the 10.13, let's get rid of that one too. Yeah, I think that's a good starting point. Double check, make sure I have that. Yep, okay. So we will do output. And let's clear this, dismiss. And let's just take a quick look at those 3 that I rejected. Or 4 rather. Might have been some tracking. It was a little windy last night, so it just might have a little bit of bump in the tracking. Yeah, don't look too bad, but that's all right. We'll keep them in the junk folder for now. Yeah, that one looks just a little bit oblong. A little bit of a bump out there. Okay, yeah, these, we'll call those definitely junk. So that means, what do we have? We got 3 good H alpha for the Whirlpool, and then we've got 10 good H alpha for M81. 6, I want 9 minimum, so that'll be 3 more O3s, 1 more S2, redo the H beta, and then hopefully the luminance. But that's going to be the kicker now, isn't it? But I'll get into that in another video if I get into that tonight. But yeah, the first light for the first full night of imaging, I think, was a success. I mean, each one of these is 10 minutes long. So we've got 27, so that's 270 minutes. 270 minutes. It's about half an hour short of 5 full hours. I'll take that for the first night using this. Got a late start. Clouds didn't break until about 8 o'clock, and then between alignment and all that, I didn't get started until 8:30, and then it was probably close to 9:30 before I got the rotator figured out. And yeah, it was primarily the rotator, trying to figure that thing out. Which reminds me, I need to do that video tonight to show you guys what I saw, which I didn't see initially because I was set to 0 degrees, or I think I was set to like 262, and I was trying to move to 259, and then it went over, and then it was saying it was at 0, and then things just weren't adding up initially. So the first go round of trying to auto center and everything, it failed. So by the time I recognized what was going on and saw the pattern, it was probably about 9:30 before I got that corrected. And then, as you saw with that one frame on H alpha for M81, I had to essentially abort the sequence and then go back, and because it wasn't centered, or no, I didn't abort it. It was in the aborting, trying to figure out the rotator issue. PhD2 got a little off, and then DEC was trying to, or excuse me, RA was trying to push it in the wrong direction. So it was going completely off target. And so I had to shut down PhD2, restart it. And when I did, it was just a little bit off target. Luckily, I recognized it quickly enough that it didn't push it too far off. The target was still in frame. And once I recognized that it was probably going to be off center, it was during the autofocusing. For those of you that use the SGP, once that autofocus window, the pop-up window disappears, you've got the last autofocus frame displayed, and I noticed it was off center, but it had already started imaging the first frame for H alpha. So I quickly clicked on the run autofocus, or excuse me, I opened up the sequence and I paused it, let it complete that frame, and then went into the target and did the center now option, and then it successfully centered, and then I was able to resume, and everything for the most part worked pretty well after that. Had one little issue after the meridian flip where the deck was pushing the incorrect direction, and that was due to me having a checkbox in the declination, reverse declination direction after a meridian flip. And so I corrected that, restarted PhD2 again, and then it ran the rest of the evening without issue. And actually that was 27, yeah, okay, so a little bit shy of 5 hours. So starting at 9:30, and then you've got time spent with the meridian flip and auto centering, and then you've got autofocus routines that it runs every once in a while, and then me correcting the declination problem. Yeah, I think that's a good night. I threw away 4 images, so that would have taken me over the 5 hours, and then I forget how many I did not keep. Oh, we had all the S2s, or excuse me, the H betas. So we had 1 hydrogen alpha and all the hydrogen beta, which there was 8 of those. So that's 9. That's another 90 minutes. So in actuality, I ended up with 6.5 hours of imaging, and we get to keep 4.5. You know, if I had the settings right for the H beta, we'd be able to keep more of that, but having to throw those out, taking that into consideration, I'll take that as a good night. So yeah, with that, I'm going to say thanks everybody for watching. I really appreciate it, and I hope you liked it. Please stick around for the outro, and as always, clear skies. Have a good one.
Thanks for watching yet another episode from the Astro Imaging Journey channel. Really appreciate your viewership. In our upper right, we have the latest video that I have posted prior to this one. Down in the lower right, we have what YouTube thinks you will enjoy. Below is a subscription link. Please hit that like button, subscribe if you so choose, ring that bell if you want to get notified of something new, and as always, thank you, clear skies. Remember, dude.